Total's highlights from the toughest event of the South African National Rally Championship, the Total International Rally. Total, earning our stripes in motorsport, earning our stripes for you.
The South African Rally Circus moves to the Northern Transvaal for the final and deciding round of the National Rally Championship. Some have come as works drivers with a mission to win the championship, while others, either driving for teams or as privateers, have arrived in Petersburg for the season's most challenging event, the Total International Rally. Toyota, desperate for a win after a drought in 4 rallies, pin their hopes on their #1 driver, Serge Damso. But for Toyota's Glenn Gibbons and Peter Cuffley, this is sadly their last Class A drive. The championship stands wide open with one driver alone at the top of the log, and the pressure is on Nissan's Hannes Grobler.
Ja, definitief. Vanmôre loop die spanning baie hoog hierso. Ek is redelik gespanne. In die sin dat ons moet die tydren voltooi basies, behalwe as van die ander ouens uitval wat vir ons 'n probleem inhou. Ek dink ons grootste ding is om die kar op die einde te bring en julle op die einde te bring. En dit is nogal heel wat gevra op so 'n lang tydren, want hierdie tydren behels basies 3 nasionale, die lengte van 3 nasionale tydrenne, en dis makliker gesê as gedoen.
Here to participate with international status are Kenya's Patrick Njiru with navigator Surinder Thati. The team has participated at international level in Kenya's own safari rally, as well as various other events.
Very much, actually. I feel very happy to be here. It's a great feeling. The people here have been very kind, and the car is fantastic. This new Nissan Sentra is incredible. Very good car.
Nissan Motorsport have made their spare Sentra 4-wheel drive available to the Kenyan team, although Patrick will have less power underfoot compared to the Group A turbo that he's used to. The crew are automatically seeded first, being the only FOCA-registered international team, and they have the honour of leading off a very competitive 51-strong field. Next off, a Springbok team of Sarel van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff. Sarel lies 23 points behind Hannes on the championship log and would need Hannes not to finish and the 25 points of an outright win to take the championship himself. A win for France, on the other hand, will secure the Navigators' Championship for the 11th time. 10 stages lie ahead before the first regroup, stretching between Petersburg and Sanin. Here on stage 1, Patrick and Surinder will take time to adapt to the car and the route schedule system of instruction for the navigator. Sarel and France have no such problems and blast through the stage in a winning time of 2 minutes 59 seconds. Next into the stage is the Toyota crew, Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide. After 2 wins in a row early in the season, followed by 3 non-finishes, they fought back to a credible 4th overall on the Toyota dealer rally, and many tipped this team for a win on this event. Carrying the number 4 on their car are Nissan's Nick Duval, together with navigator Guy Hodgson. This event in 1990 was disastrous for Hannes Grobler and his then navigator Piet Swanepoel. Today, a year later, Hannes strives not for a win, but a finish in the top 10 and national honours. In the seat next to Hannes for the second event this season is navigator Douglas Judd. As the leading cars start and finish stage 2 on the outskirts of Petersburg, word is that Serge Damso has retired his conquest with a broken piston on the open section after stage 1. This improves the Ford and Nissan's chances immensely, but puts tremendous pressure on the remaining Class A Toyota of Glenn Gibbons and Peter Cuffley. Johan Evertsen and Steve Harding attack stage 2 in their Volkswagen factory Golf Synchro. The second Ford Sassel Laser of Glyn Hall and Martin Buerter, now 6th on the road ahead of the Gibbons-Cuffley Toyota.
That's a 10-second light now.
We join Patrick and Surinder in their Nissan Sentra as they prepare to start stage 3.
Right. 100 meters, 90 degrees left, 50, and then 90 meters, 90 degrees crossroads, turn left. 90 meters branch right, sharp right, into medium left. 400 200 meters, nothing. Send it. 300, 90 degrees.
For a crew who normally drive to international rules, with pace notes and pre-practice runs on the stages, the Kenyan team are coping very well.
And 200 flying finish, straight on. 100 flying finish. And 100 T-junction turn right. 50 T-junction turn right.
After winning stage 1, Sarel van der Merwe went on to draw stage 2 with Hannes Grobler. And although Sarel will go on to win this stage, only seconds separate the two crews. Impressing even the most unlikely spectators with his aggressive driving style, Nissan's Nick de Waal pushing hard with teammate Guy Hodgson. Creating a dust storm all of their own, Johan Evertse powers the mighty Golf Synchro through this 13-kilometre stage. After only 3 stages, the crews start showing the effects of the hot, dusty conditions.
It's dusty, eh? Hot.
Glenn Hall has an even greater need as he suffers burns to his feet, the effects of an ineffectual firewall. A long open section of 90 kilometres transports the rally to stage 4 in the forests around the town of Sukmakar. And Patrick Njiru is all smiles as he prepares to start this 18-kilometre stage. With 3 stages completed, Patrick and Surinder have obviously settled down, but they're still somewhat slower than van der Merwe, who's behind them on the road. After catching the Kenyan crew by a minute in stage 4, Sarel and France do their best to negotiate a legal way of increasing the starting gap. Their main concern is the dust, which hangs thickly over the sheltered forest roads, obscuring the driver's vision and obviously slowing down the crew's pace. Not that Sarel shows any sign of slowing here on stage 5. The Sentra of Nick de Waal and Guy Hodgson has started to overheat and in fact fails to emerge from stage 5 after the rotor arm in the distributor melted, causing ignition failure. De Waal wasn't the only Nissan crew having problems. The service team had troubles of their own, putting added pressure on the remaining crews. While the Golf Synchro remained competitive, Johan Evertse consistently lost 30 seconds per stage to the flying van der Merwe and Grobler up front. As backup to Sarel in the Ford team, last year's national champions Glenn Hall and Martin Botha keep the leaders well in their sights. One of the most impressive drives of the day was to come from Yanni Habig, who replaced an injured Cassie Coetzee in the Class B Golf. Teammates Chadwick and Constable were having both suspension and tyre problems in these tough and rough forest stages. Nuno de Cunha emerged from stage 4 with most of his rear suspension missing.
Johan, you must change the whole suspension.
Both Glenn Gibbons and Enzo Kuhn had to endure a spate of minor problems early on in the rally, but here on stage 7, both Toyota teams appeared to have their conquests sorted out. Leading the privateers and running second in Class C, Leon Botha and Francois Jourdain moved steadily up the scoreboard. The well-supported Uno crew, Paolo Pazzo Musso and Neil Watt, soon to retire with drive shaft problems. Leading a depleted Class D entry, Sjoerd van der Walt and Jacob van der Linde are going well here on stage 7. Although not the longest, stage 8 turned out to be one of the roughest. We join Glenn Hall as Martin Botha talks him through a short part of this 26-kilometre special stage.
Okay, all right, no problem, go.
Unluckily, engine problems retired Glenn and Martin's Ford on the very next stage. Having led the rally convincingly up to stage 6, a puncture early on in stage 7 loses the van der Merwe Ford almost 2 minutes to Hannes Grobler, who now takes over the lead in his Nissan Sentra. The newly imported 7-speed gearbox gives the Laser far better acceleration in the tight sections. And here on stage 10, around the newly completed Sanin testing grounds, the spectators are treated to a driving demonstration never to be repeated in this municipal institution. Still very much in the rally are the Kenyan visitors Patrick Njiru and Surinder Thati. Both appear to be enjoying the South African conditions and both profess to be having a ball in the centre. Once through this stage, the crews can take a well-deserved break as the cars are regrouped for the demanding 8 night stages that lie ahead. Glenn Gibbons and Peter Cuffley have fought back to a credible third, but most impressive is Yanni Habik in the Class B Golf, currently lying 4th. However, it's Hannes Grobler and Douglas Judd who lead Van der Merwe and Boshoff in the front.
Ja, ons is eintlik heel verbaas dat ons nou voorloop. Ons het dit nie so beplan nie, maar ons is bly om voor te loop want ek dink dit sal 'n bietjie voordeel deur die nag hê met die stof. As ons voor kan ry, kan ons dalk die manne agter ons stof gee en dit gaan 'n bietjie moeiliker wees vir hulle om ons in te haal.
Douglas, the conditions, have you found them particularly rough?
Probably I wouldn't say it was as rough as last year, but it is rough. It's been very hot today. Apparently the temperature was 34. In the cars it must get a lot higher, up to 40. And really I think it's the weather conditions and mixed with the rough roads has taken the cars out.
8 fairly demanding night stages lie ahead, completing the loop and bringing the cars back to Petersburg for the start of day 2. A 9 p.m. restart in the town of Sanin, with Hannes ahead of the remaining 21 survivors.
Turn on right, turn on right. Turn on right.
Stage 11, a short spectator stage, gives the crews a chance to settle down after the break. Ahead lie the rough forest stages, demanding on both driver and navigator in the darkness. Clerk of the course, Yanni Kuhn, was heard to comment that the rally was really only about to start.
Left. Left. Then straight on. Sweep right. Sweep right. Sweep left. Sweep left. Into 50, horseshoe left. Horseshoe left. Yeah, left. Before the building. Before the building. Horseshoe right, stay on the outside, all the way around, down the main road. Into wiggle, wiggle, left, yeah, keep left on the trees, keep left, into T left, left, that's it, into straight on through a gate, straight on, flying finish, and then
The still evening air holds a thick cloud of dust as Yanni Habik and Wiley Harrington tackle the stage, spurred on by the local fans. Through the night, Sarrel and France have fought back to once again lead the total international rally, Sarrel having won 7 of the 8 night stages. Only 16 cars have made it back to Petersburg. Before the Ford crew get the proceedings underway, let's take a quick look at the day ahead. 2 stages in and around Petersburg before the route starts a long haul south to eventually end at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. A sprint through the streets of Petersburg promises to be a spectator's delight. With a driver like Sarel van der Merwe at the wheel, the crowd get more than they bargained for. With Hannes just under a minute behind, the Ford should have a clear run to the line and secure the Navigators' Championship for France in the process. Hannes has to resist the obvious challenge being played out up front. To throw away the championship by overextending his efforts now would be nothing short of a disaster. Gibbons and Cuffley carrying Toyota's efforts firmly on their shoulders, and not for the first time this season. Habik, having stepped in for Cassie Kutsir in this event, has executed an immaculate drive, respecting the limitations of the smaller and less powerful Class B Golf. While only a minute and a half behind Glenn Gibbons, the Golf's 4th position is secure by over 6 minutes. Once out of Petersburg, the stages open up, giving the teams a chance to stretch their legs. Stopping the cars from over 200 kilometers an hour in just a few hundred meters can be a hair-raising experience. Breaking a winning streak by Gibbons and Cuffley, Sarrel wins stage 23 convincingly. But on the very next stage, a herd of cattle break the Ford stride. Upset by the incident, Sarrel battles to regain his former pace and loses a minute to second place Grobler and Judd. Running fourth on the road after taking allowed lateness to service the Centra, Hannes and Douglas suddenly find themselves mere seconds behind Sarrel and France. The temptation to gun for the lead must be overwhelming.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 90 left here.
We join Glenn Gibbons and Peter Cuffley now in their four-wheel drive conquest on stage 26 round the outskirts of Nailstrom. The Toyota's running first on the road after Sarrel, who, like Hannes, opted for extra servicing time.
T right onto top. T left here. 100. 100 T left. Through gate T left. Narrow. 100, change lanes to right, change over railway line, and then straight over the railway line. And then left here, back over the railway line.
Still holding fourth position, Habik and Harrington continue to lead Class B. Class C leaders, Kuhn and Sealing, running 6 minutes behind Habik's Golf, but secure in fifth place overall. Second in Class B and giving value to Volkswagen's efforts in the Manufacturers' Championship, Jürgen Snell and Francois Pretorius. And still in the top 10 and third in Class C, Ben and Isabel van der Westhuizen bounce their way through stage 26. Ahead of Ben and Isabel in their class are the leading privateer entry of Leon Buerta and Francois Jourdain, seen here on stage 27. The Golf's now 9 minutes behind the Enzo Kuhn Toyota. Lying 10th overall, but still very much in the running, Patrick and Surinder work their way through the remaining 3 stages. With their Skyline due for retirement, Nuno de Cunha and Paul Ruillard will be pleased to finish this demanding event. Not so lucky are Viv Hosford and Paul Verhoef, who after surviving so much of the Total International, break a steering rod with only 3 stages to go. Kyalami, soon to be the host to South Africa's first Grand Prix in 6 years, seems to be a fitting end to what's been a most exciting rally season. 3 laps run in reverse around the circuit sees the cars safely at the end of a truly demanding event. The results remain largely unchanged as the crews nurse their cars onto the final score sheet. The rally has spread the survivors out over almost 2 hours. Most commendable were the efforts of Jannie Habik, who together with Wiley Harrington kept the Class B dealer team Golf up with the Class A cars. Their effort also clinches Volkswagen the Manufacturers' Championship for 1991. While Sarrel and France retain the lead to eventually take the honours for the 3rd time this season, the win has once again recorded the name of Franz Boshoff on the championship list of national rally navigators. The team's efforts have also re-established Ford as a force to be reckoned with in the South African Rally Championships. And the Total International will go down in Sarrel's book as the toughest one.
It was probably the toughest of the year. We had very rough roads. We were involved in a lot of dices right from the start, right to the last stage. And like you said, it's a nice one to win.
Now, France, this is a special moment for you because you actually win the championship, the Navigators Championship.
That's right.
By this win today. So Sarrel and you actually, by coming in first, have actually boosted you up to Navigators Champion. That's fantastic. How do you feel?
I feel great about it. I'm sorry that Sarrel didn't win it as well because, you know, one thinks of the driver and the navigator doing these things together. So I owe him one.
But the moment belongs to the 1991 National Rally Champion, Hannes Grobler.
Ja, dit was definitief een van die hardste tydrenne wat ek nog gery het hierdie. Ek dink die total tydren is een van die hardstes wat ons kan hê omdat dit so kort periode plaasvind. Omdat ons vir die kampioenskap moes gegaan het, kon ek ook nie te hard ry nie. So ons kon ook nie alles insit soos op die vorige tydren om vir Sarel te probeer klop nie. En ons het toe maar gisteraan besluit om maar tweede viool te speel en dan te sien wat vanmôre gebeur, jy weet. En dit het redelik goed afgeloop. Ons kon ongelukkig nie vir Sarel vang nie. Ek dink hy het so 40 sekondes voor ons geëindig, maar ons het dan die kampioenskap gevang. En dit beteken vir ons baie want dit gaan vir 'n hele jaar.